guys, I'm back. I am sorry I didn't post a video earlier. I managed to injure myself sleeping. I've hurt my back, so I have been a little bit MIA this week in regards to everything. I just wanted to post a video up on about consistency. So consistency about dieting. Now, I don't usually like the word dieting. I usually use the word lifestyle change, which is what I've had to do to lose weight over the last couple of years. Now, most of you know that I have polycystic ovaries, I'm insulin resistant, and I have to follow a low-carb diet just so that it doesn't set off anything. So I basically don't eat carbohydrates and sugar. Now, this isn't just for people who have a low-carb diet. This is for anybody following any sort of lifestyle change, but the key thing is consistency. Now for me, I always have the foods that I eat readily available. So one thing that helps me stay on track is to make sure that we have staples in the house. So bacon and eggs is a big staple in our house, butter, sometimes cheese, and then all your nuts and seeds. And I've recently got into making seed bread, which is basically like a seed cracker but softer. And I absolutely enjoy it. It has 6 grams of carbs, just under 7 grams of carbs, 27 grams of fat, which is brilliant. And I usually top it with either a little bit of almond spread, which is like peanut butter but made out of almonds, or I'll put some avocado with that. So it just depends on how I feel at the time. Usually it has a nice high fat topping, so it turns into a very high fat meal, which is great. And that's one of the key things that keep me going as well, is having a lot of fat in my day so that I don't have to snack through the day. So that's one of my big things, is having things in the house readily made, readily available. Sometimes I'll cook up a big batch of bacon, keep it in the fridge so that I can nibble on it for a couple of days. Sometimes I'll make the seed bread, which is what I've been doing. Other times I'm pretty motivated to just get up and cook. But I only eat 2 meals a day, which is breakfast and dinner. Sometimes I'll have a snack in between. So that's sort of my day. Now, what I suggest with consistency is writing out a plan when you go to the shops. So food shopping for us, we avoid all of the middle aisles. So if we're going to Woolworths or Coles, we will go around the whole store, avoiding all the middle aisles unless we need some things like spices and stuff like that. So basically around the store is all your fruit and veg, all of your meats, all of your deli stuff, all of your dairy, all of that sort of thing. And that's walking around the shop. That's not going in and out of all the aisles. If we do need to go in and out of all the aisles, the things that we usually get are like washing detergents and stuff like that, spices. Sometimes I'll get some tins of tuna, and I'll go into there's like an organic and gluten-free little section that most places have. So I'll go in there and have a quick look at what I can get, just because it looks good. So they're the type of things that I do. So if you are just starting out on a diet or on a lifestyle change, give yourself the opportunity to just walk around the outside of the store without going on the insides, because you don't get tempted by chips and lollies and chocolates. You don't get tempted by just getting a packet food or a can of soup or anything like that. Everything that you eat should be whole food and made by you, so that you know what's going in it and the amount of carbs, I guess, or if you're calorie counting, all that sort of thing. That's just a recommendation. That's something that I would say is a really good thing to do. Just because that's how I've kept myself going. I have eliminated most of the temptations out of my life. I do cake making, so every now and again it is very tempting to have a piece of cake, but I don't. But one of the things is eliminating all of the crap from your life. So if you go through all your cupboards before you start eating healthy, go through and get out all of the bad stuff that is going to tempt you. Because I know one rule my friend has is she will eat everything in the house before she starts her diets, just because she can't waste the food. So I suggest get rid of it, give it to someone, pay it forward to somebody, or just throw it away. You don't need that sort of negativity in your life. So basically that's one of my big things. Now, I'm really, really big on food plans. When I first started this way of eating, I had a food plan for about 6 weeks, and I just kept following it. So I finished the 6 weeks and then I would go back again and do it. And then it kind of became a habit from there. I would just get up in the morning, I would make breakfast, I would take my multivitamins, which aren't really vitamins, it's more of a whole food nutritional supplement, which I'll show you in a second. And then I would go through my daily routine of getting my lunch and stuff ready, all that sort of thing. When I got the hang of that, I realised I didn't actually need to eat lunch. I was actually coming home with my lunch bag still full. So I would just add a little bit more fat to my breakfast, and I would follow that through the day. And I wouldn't probably get hungry until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which is where I would take maybe some nuts and seeds. So it is about learning about your body and learning about you and what works for you, basically. I know a lot of people who are on a low carb diet and they still eat breakfast, lunch and dinner. They don't eat as much fat for breakfast, so they have time for lunch. I am very much just have breakfast, don't need to eat through the day, and come home for dinner just because it works for me. That's how it works. I have in the last probably 6 months been on this massive stall. I haven't gained weight and I haven't lost weight. I've been, fluctuating 200 or 300 grams, which is really crazy, which kind of sucks as well. So I had actually stopped eating dairy. Dairy for me was really big. I was eating a lot of cheese. It's one of my favourite things. So I cut dairy completely for 2 weeks and I lost 600 grams. So I managed to break my stall, and I've slowly introduced dairy back into my diet over the last week. But I'm not going to go to the extent that I did before, which is a good thing. Now, that's something that I've learned. So if you're following low carb, you probably will figure things out for yourself, which is great. I've sort of, I really don't, I can't stress this enough to people, is when you are learning about foods and nutrition and you're learning about yourself, really give it a good crack, really research it, really try and understand it, and really look at what your body is, how your body's reacting to it and how you're feeling about it. So if you're not feeling great about it, then don't do it. If you feel really good about something that you want to just keep doing that until you find something else that works. So losing weight is really trial and error, and it's really about support, and it's not just support from the outside world, it's actually support for yourself. So I always say to people, I'm my biggest cheerleader. I'm constantly on my case about what foods I'm putting in to my body, how am I feeling, my mindset, all of that sort of thing. I'm always on to myself, and I kind of get told by a couple of my friends that I'm always trying to fix myself, and I have come to terms with that. Yes, I am always trying to fix myself, but it's only just because I have to keep on top of weight loss, and weight loss to me is a really big thing. My story is a little bit crazy. I have lost 37 point something kilos, so I have almost lost 40 kilos in total. It's pretty crazy that I can say that. So, and through that time I have had to learn about my body. So I've had to learn what works for me and how to keep motivated. And I have to keep reminding myself that I have lost that amount of weight and I still have about 20 kilos to go. So the next 20 kilos is huge. It's going to be very exciting. Now, I also had to find my reason why. Why did I want to lose weight? And to start with, it was because I was really unhappy with myself. I was basically really angry with myself for putting on all the weight. I had polycystic ovaries, and I really struggled to lose weight, and it's because I didn't understand what sort of foods worked for me. So it was just a bit of a cycle of just being angry with myself putting on so much weight. So to start with, I wanted to lose weight so that I would feel better, and I couldn't pinpoint what would make me feel better. Now, most people know that we are on a fertility journey, mainly me because I have polycystic ovaries, and my biggest thing for losing weight is to fall pregnant naturally. I don't want any sort of intervention. And most people say, you're crazy, but I've lost this much weight on my own and all my levels are looking really good. So a little bit more, 20 kilos, I'm about 20 kilos away, and we can reassess things. So that is one of my big things. That's my motivation at the moment, is to lose weight so that I can be healthy enough to conceive, which is kind of crazy to say. and I don't usually share that with a lot of people. So that's another thing. The other thing is that I am really, it's like an addiction now. I'm really addicted to looking after myself and my husband. So health is really key in our house. So I'm always grumbling if there's, you know, chocolate or sugar in our house, because Corey, he's stick thin. If anybody has met him, he's so tall and skinny that you could probably eat a cow and you wouldn't know. But yeah, he's only catching on to being low carb. He's catching on quite slowly, to be honest, but he gets the gist of it. So it's all about our health. Now, I am a really big advocate for Juice Plus. So I have my own little franchise business with Juice Plus. It's basically fruits, veg, and berries in a capsule. And it's over 27 fruits, veg, and berries. And in those 27 fruits, veg, and berries are mountains and mountains of nutrients. Now, I always say to people, if you know you're following a lifestyle change, you need to team it up with a really, really good multivitamin or whole food nutritional supplement. And because I do Juice Plus, I team it up with my Juice Plus. So basically, you've got your fruits and your veg, which are these ones, and you've also got your berries. And I take 2 of each every single morning alongside my low carb eating. And it doesn't make me put on weight, so it doesn't affect my loss. They are really low carb. If you look at all of the studies on it, it's really low carb. And I just think for me, it's peace of mind knowing that I'm getting all of this nutrient into my body. I do eat a lot of fruit and veg normally, but I can't eat things growing underground, and I can't eat a lot of fruit. So these guys just give me all that nutrients, which I absolutely do. I do miss a lot of my fruit and veg, and I love having a smoothie or a juice every now and again. But since I've been low carb, I can't do any of that. So that's a big bummer for me. But this franchise has opened me up to a whole community of Juice Plus people, which is where I learn about nutrition, I learn about like mind, body and soul, I learn about all of that sort of thing. And that leads me to tell you guys is when you're on a weight loss journey, you need to find a tribe. You need to find people who you can look up to, or people who you can teach about your journey. You need to find support, and you've also got to support yourself, but you know, it's always good to have a bit of a support network going for you. Which kind of keeps you consistent in losing weight. I always get a lot of questions from people about how much I've lost this week, or how much I've lost that last week, or, you know, how's this month going? And in the last few months, it's been a little bit of a drag because I haven't lost weight per se. I haven't lost the kilos. I have lost the size, but it keeps me going. And I always think, oh, next week, I wonder what, you know, if I get asked next week, I'm going to be able to say to someone, oh, yes, I lost 500 grams. So that's a really good motivation for me. And it's also really inspiring for other people to see another person losing weight, which is kind of cool. So just to recap, consistency, looking at your fruits and veg in the house. So make sure that you have staples in your house, looking at meal plans, making sure you're shopping on the outside of the shop. Find yourself a little group or a team or something where you can rely on support. Support's a really key thing. And mindset. So mindset is really, really huge. Just go out and have a look at go out and have a read, go out and have a look at different personal development companies, come and ask me questions, come and do our workshop. I mean, there's so much out there for you to look after your mindset, and mindset is amazing. Once you get the hang of being positive most of the time, there are days where I get really down and I just don't want to do it anymore, and then, you know, I give myself a swift kick up the butt and I'm back on board. So mindset is really big when it comes to losing weight. It helps you to not make excuses. It helps you to keep going. It helps you inspire people, inspire yourself. Mindset is huge. So I will do a vlog on mindset probably next week, not this week, just because I have a lot to say on it, and I do have a lot to share about my little tricks that I have that keep me going with weight loss. So that's about it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. This is my second blog, so I hope it's not as bad as the first one, but I'll speak to you guys soon. See ya.